In a kingdom where kindness reigns, I stand not as a distant ruler, but as a friend. I listen to every voice, from the farmer to the child. Power isn't in might, it's in connection. When hearts unite, we thrive. So tell me your worries, your dreams. Together we can grow. Imagine a kingdom ruled by a king who genuinely cares. He listens to his people, values their opinions, and makes decisions with sincerity. No grandiose declarations, just heartfelt conversations. He believes in kindness over power, showing that true leadership is about connection. Let's explore how sincerity can change a kingdom. A new beginning. The throne room. Early morning. The throne room is not an intimidating space, but warm, with sunlight filtering through large windows. Alden, softly standing from his throne. I do not wish to lead through commands alone, but by listening. Tell me, what weighs on your hearts? A farmer from the kingdom nervously steps forward, presenting a concern about drought affecting his crops. Alden listens intently, asking questions with genuine curiosity. He thanks the farmer for his honesty, promising to work with the kingdom's advisors to find solutions. Alden, a kingdom thrives when its people thrive. Let us not ignore the small voices, for they speak the loudest truths. The seeds of conflict, the king's private chambers. King Alden speaks privately with Counselor Thorn, who questions Alden's approach. Thorn, skeptical. Your Majesty, the people expect strength. They need to see their king wield power, not open his heart. This approach of yours, it is a weakness. Alden, calm but firm. Strength is not only in the sword, Thorn. It is in listening, in patience. We rule not for ourselves, but for them. Thorn leaves, unconvinced, planting the seeds of future tension between the king's heartfelt governance and the traditionalists, building trust, village voices, a village square. King Alden travels to the villages to meet his people personally. He walks among them without guards, sitting with farmers, merchants, and children. He listens, laughs, and promises change, but the villagers are hesitant. They have never seen such a king. A young girl named Mara boldly approaches, asking why the king has come down to their level. Mara's boldness surprises Alden, but instead of feeling challenged, he smiles, kneels to her eye level, and responds with sincerity. Mara, skeptical. Why should we trust you? You're a king. Kings don't care about us. Alden, gently. I care because without you, there is no kingdom. A king is nothing without his people. I came to learn, not to rule over you. Will you help me? This interaction sparks a deeper relationship between Alden and the common people. Mara becomes a symbolic voice, representing the candid thoughts of the villagers. Through these intimate conversations, Alden's empathy for his people deepens, and their trust in him grows. The challenge of power, the council's warning, the council chambers. The council of elders convenes to discuss the king's methods. They worry that his lack of authoritative rule will leave the kingdom vulnerable to external threats and internal disorder. Elder Calros. His Majesty is compassionate, yes, but compassion is not enough to protect this realm. A ruler must wield authority, or chaos will follow. The tension rises as Alden stands firm in his beliefs, even as the council pressures him to adopt a more heavy-handed rule. Scene 5. The Whisper of War, a military camp near the kingdom's borders. Rumors of war stir as a neighboring kingdom threatens invasion. General Rowan, the kingdom's military leader, expresses concern. He meets with Alden privately. Rowan, concerned. Your Majesty, the enemy is at our doorstep. Kindness will not save us from swords and shields. Alden, perhaps not, but fear alone cannot guide us. We will defend our kingdom, but we must show our people that they fight for something worth protecting, a ruler who values their lives, not just their loyalty. Rowan is torn between his loyalty to Alden's ideals and his duty to prepare for war. This inner conflict adds tension to the plot, as Alden seeks a peaceful solution even in the face of looming violence. The cost of sincerity. A crisis in the kingdom, the throne room, in the midst of civil unrest. Some factions within the kingdom, led by influential nobles, begin to grow restless with Alden's gentle rule. They challenge his authority, claiming that his leadership lacks strength. There are protests in the streets, with citizens torn between support for the king's sincerity and fear for the kingdom's safety. A tense meeting is held with Queen Alara by Alden's side. She remains his greatest support, reminding him of the importance of staying true to his values. Alara. Softly. Our people may not always understand the strength it takes to rule with kindness, but they will see, Alden. They will see in time, a king's choice. The battlefield. War finally breaks out. The invading forces breach the kingdom's borders, and Alden must face the ultimate test of his leadership. Rather than lead with violence, Alden makes a risky decision to confront the enemy king in person. Counselor Thorne and General Rowan urge him to reconsider, but Alden stands firm. In a dramatic meeting between the two kings, Alden speaks not with demands or threats, but with sincerity. Alden, we need not destroy lives to prove our strength. True strength lies in the choice to seek peace. The enemy king, moved by Alden's humility and conviction, hesitates. The tension reaches its peak as Alden's life hangs in the balance. Will his heartfelt plea be enough to stop the violence, or will his kingdom fall? Resolution and reflection, the victory of kindness, the palace gardens. Weeks after the war, Alden's approach, against all odds, brings peace to the kingdom. The people, once skeptical, now see the strength in his sincerity. The council, too, comes to understand that Alden's connection to his people is what keeps the kingdom united. Mara, now older and wiser, speaks with Alden in the gardens. Mara, smiling, I see now, Your Majesty. Kindness isn't weakness. It's the hardest thing to choose when the world tells you otherwise. Alden, smiling, and that's why we must choose it, again and again. The heart of the kingdom beats with every kind choice we make. A kingdom changed. The village square, years later. The kingdom has flourished under Alden's rule. His people trust him, and the neighboring kingdoms look to his leadership as an example of true strength. The final scene closes with a simple yet powerful image. Alden walking among his people once more, not as a distant ruler, but as a king who has changed his kingdom through the power of connection, sincerity, and kindness. Final words from Alden. A kingdom is not built on power or wealth. It is built on the hearts of its people. And a true king listens